And I'm Eileen Block. I'm also in the 300 class. And when I was told that everybody would be speaking today, and that the topic was love, I thought, what do I know about love? And then I realized I do know a lot about love. I've known love. I've been in love. I've had that wonderful feeling of infatuation, which we all know doesn't last long. And then reality sets in. So today, I'm going to share with you my top 10 reasons why divine love is a perfect love. Number 10, God is always there, and I can always depend on God's love. God loves us all the same, and there's more than enough to go around. Number 9, God will never leave me for someone else. I never drive past God's house at night looking for the ex-girlfriend's car. Number 8, God's love is perfect love. God loves me perfectly because God is perfect. Number 7, I can never disappoint God. And that's a really great feeling. Because number 6 is, God loves me the way I am right now. God sees me as being perfect. Number 5, the feeling I get when I connect to God. When I meditate, I go into a different state of being. I relax. I'm serene. It's bliss. Number 4, it's never infatuation, it's always real. It really is the true love that never fades. Number 3, the deeper I go, the more bliss I feel. The more I know of God, the more I love God. Number 2, loving God makes me a better person. And isn't that what everyone really wants? And the number 1 reason why divine love is a perfect love, God is all there is.
That was great, Eileen. Isn't this great? All this love? This is like awesome. This has been great to prepare for it. And then when Canada showed up with like the whole gang, I was like, yes, this is going to work. My name is Mary Riley. I am in the Science 800 class. No, just kidding. Visioning, right? So we're going to talk about love. We're talking about love, and my story is about self-love and one of my first experiences with loving myself. And it's happened when I was 22. I was going to Ireland, and I was from an Irish Catholic community. My last name is Riley. This is something I had been thinking about my whole short life as of that point. And to give you kind of a context of where I was in my life, I had a crazy, dysfunctional, big Catholic family. We were from a small neighborhood, so everybody knew our business. They knew my crazy brothers and sisters and my father and all that stuff. And I was in love with the boy next door. This is true. He actually lived right next door. His name was Sean Boyle, and I just left him. And but Sean or John didn't love me back. And so anyway, that's where I am. But I'm going to Ireland. I had the ticket. I had my bags packed forever. And I get up in the morning and threw up. And I threw up because I was so nervous. And I have not been that nervous before or since. But, I got on the plane, I willed the plane to Ireland, I was toast when I got there, and I went out on this tour. So I was in Ireland. And, one of the reasons I was so nervous is because I was going by myself. I was 22, and I knew that when you got to be 24 or 5, life ended, and you wouldn't be able to go. So if I wanted to wait until someone would join me, I may never go. And so there I was on the plane by myself in Ireland, going on this tour, and it was so exciting. Like, you drive on the left-hand side of the street, I knew that. But then they had signs like no overtaking and entering roundabout, and they spoke this language which was supposed to be English, but God knows what they were saying. And it was like so different and so exciting. And I was there for 3 weeks and proceeded to have the time of my life. It was awesome. I met people from all over the world. I stayed in contact with some of them for a while. It was just wonderful. And on the 3rd week, I had planned to, kids don't do this, but hitchhike. And I was hitchhiking across Ireland. And I was out in the middle of the Irish countryside. And it's just like the pictures, except in the pictures it was sunny. And it's never sunny in Ireland. So I'm standing there by the side of the road with my bags, and I didn't pack well. And in the drizzle, and there was cars like every 10, 15 minutes, so it wasn't terribly busy. And I had time to think. And I was thinking about all the people I missed, and all the people who I couldn't wait to get back and say, oh, you would have loved the music at that pub the other night, or you should see the history in the Burn, or, the Cliffs of Moher is so spectacular. And when I was thinking about the people that I loved, I was thinking about the people that I loved. And I realized that I loved them. And I also realized how lucky I was to love people enough to miss. And I guess in that moment, they weren't separate from me anymore. They were with me. And it was kind of an experience of oneness. And the other thing I realized was that up until that moment, the fact that Sean Boyle didn't love me had been a commentary on my worthiness. And at that moment, I realized what a huge heart I had to love someone that much, to be able to love someone that much. And it was the first, and I just felt the love in my heart and felt the gratitude for the love that I had, and realized that I was capable of such enormous love. And it was really kind of a cosmic experience. And I think there was a couple things that had to happen for me to have that experience. And one of them was to leave my story at home. It was just too big to bring in the bags. Nobody knew my family, nobody knew my story. When they talked to me, they talked to me. And when I talked to them, I talked to them. I wasn't my story, I was me. Because that's the only thing that made it, across the ocean. And now I know I don't have to go across the ocean to let go of my story. And I am not my story, I am love. And the other thing I had to do was step out of my comfort zone. And I think whether or not we, go somewhere to let go of our story, letting go of our story is always a step out of our comfort zone. Well, it is for me anyway. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.